Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namne, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayati. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namne, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayati. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namne, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namne, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate. Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya. Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Radharara, Shri Vasudeva Gopala Vrinda. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, everybody sing loud. Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Radharara, Shri Vasudeva Gopala Vrinda. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Jaya Jaya Krsna. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya 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 Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namaste. Gora Karuna Swarupaya Hare Krishna Prestayante. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namaste. Gora Karuna Swarupaya Hare Krishna Prestayante. Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur.
Haribol Namaste. So I'd like to speak today about the subject matter that will determine our success in our life, and it is about living a life that is in harmony with the will of God. So bottom line, the will of God, His pleasure, His happiness. And the main reason for this is that we should know and understand this great opportunity that we can have a loving relationship with the Supreme Person, and activities that we do previously did put us in a situation that is not amiable, in a predicament. We suffer, and the suffering is when we identify with this material world. And that is the reason we got so stuck up that we are not really interested in getting out of this drowning situation. When a person is drowning, he cannot struggle anymore because he's drowning, he's already dead. So that is the situation of the living entity in this material world. And when you're given this opportunity, we're being given this chance to make a decision, either to be guided by God or to be guided by material nature. So I'll read here the instruction of our instructing spiritual master, so we can have clarity and we can appreciate that the time span that we are in this body is very short, and the opportunity that is given to us, if we don't apply it, it will be a great loss to us. Okay? I'll read here the process, because as we have learned that this body is the kingdom, you have your own kingdom, all of you. You're in this body, okay? the kingdom has 9 gates. And when a person identifies himself as the body, he suffers because of the activities he's doing is connected and he's so engrossed in this material world. Very simple lang, okay? So meaning, the activities you're engaging in is you're being so much focused and you're gliding towards this attraction, not attraction really, but being dominated by material nature because of this consciousness of materialism. What you do with your body, anong ginagawa nyo sa katawan nyo. Anong ginagawa nyo, then it has a great effect upon your consciousness, your mind, your intelligence, and to be able to succeed, to get out of this miserable world, this hellish world, we must transform this kingdom that we are living in, instead of living a life of, you know what's resident evil? Our residence is evil when we are in ignorance of the truth, because we use this body as a source, as a venue, as a medium to find happiness for our own, okay? Futile, attempted happiness. That's why we've been conditioned to be in different bodies. Okay? Conditioned tayo yung consciousness natin. So, makikita natin, wow, the reason I'm suffering is because of my consciousness. Kung ano yung consciousness nyo. Okay? So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, dinescribe doon ano yung consciousness ng individual who is free. So, we're given yung process to have a steady intelligence, to be a sage, to experience this calmness, okay? Not to be stupid and moron, you know? You're becoming, you know what's a foolish person? Okay? You have identified yourself as the body. And you think you're in control. But in reality, you're a slave. And this moronic, stupid, foolish consciousness, you have begin to like it, okay? You identify with it, okay? But somewhere along the line, if you're intelligent, you begin to ask this question: why do I have to suffer? Why does everything that is here, it comes to an end? And why do I have to struggle always to get what I want? And according to your activities, according to your action, what resonates from you, the sound, the activities, your consciousness, is the influence of activities you do. Kung anong ginagawa nyo. Okay? Wala kayo interest sa spiritual life, wala kayo interest sa ganito, mas more kayo into fighting, quarreling, you know? Ibig sabihin nun, you are not able to appreciate when you heard that this body is the kingdom wherein it has 9 gates, and these 9 gates should be open to a process and activities that will connect you with the divine energy of God. Because the living entity, you in this body, by nature, you're divine. But the problem is you identify with this body, and the activities you do is based upon materialism. Activities wherein based upon your false lordship and a false focus to find happiness in this world and try to play master. And it has contaminated you. That's why we don't have the desire. And there is this desire, but it's misdirected. It's now covered, and we have no attraction for what is really transcendental. Okay? Because our body has become a residence natin is evil. Because the person who's living in this body is resident evil. Ano yung evil? Someone who does not follow or not in harmony with God. Okay? So when we understand and hear the teaching, everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is owned and controlled by the Supreme Person. One should use only the quota that is allotted to him, knowing well to whom they belong. Now you begin to appreciate that yes, everything that here belongs to someone, and that someone is my Supreme Friend, Lord Krsna, Govinda, okay? Hirishikesh, okay? The self-sufficient philosopher who loves me, okay? So when we use this body for our own self-interest and try to control it, not control, but become dominated by the material desire in our mind, and we follow the mind, we become subjugated by the three modes of material nature. So what happens? We engage in simple activities or karmatic activities. Okay? So the living entity, you, who's divine, who's transcendental, now becomes encumbered, and you are now, you have to face yung reaction of what you're doing because of the choice you're making. Of the choice you're making. Okay? Choice. Because you're responsible. You make choice, you experience the effect. But that can be transcended if we make the right choice based upon the wisdom from following the instruction of someone who is in harmony with that unalloyed, pure devotional service and activities that is transcendental to this miserable world. So yun yung spiritual master. Okay? Tindihan nyo? Klaro sa inyo? Is it clear sa inyo? Okay? How does one resident or kingdom become residence evil? Okay? When we engage in these activities. Because these activities will drive us away and defocus us from this focus of engaging and following the heart's desire of our spiritual master. Ano yung desire ng spiritual master natin? That we love Krishna. We become His friend. Now, if you steal and use anything that's here in this material world for your sense enjoyment, that's sinful because you don't own anything. You're just the caretaker in this body. So if you use your body as a venue and this world as an avenue for sense enjoyment, your playing field, then you suffer. Okay? Ito babasahin ko. Because assuming now, naintindihan nyo your spirit soul, you're eternally the loving servant of God. And what will deter you, what will separate you from this focus, ito yung babasahin ko ngayon. Okay? Once devotional service is spoiled, when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities. When you come in contact with this process, pwedeng ma-spoil. Alam nyo yung spoil? Mapanis ba? Mapanis. Hindi na, halimbawa, nagluluto kayo dyan, iniwan lang nyo. So, nagbula-bula, napanis, may bacteria kinain. Yung bacteria, sinira niya yung, pag may bacteria kasi, nasisira yung pagkain. Di ba? Okay? What will spoil one's devotional service? What will spoil, meaning, what will separate you? What will spoil your relationship with God? Okay. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi na matamis magsilbi dahil sa influence ng material nature. So yung process kasi natin is to come to the point of a steady intelligence. To be a sage. You know what's a sage? Yung hindi gumagalaw. Nakakita na kayo ng sapa, yung na hindi gumagalaw? Unmoving, unchanging. Yung spirit soul becomes satiated kung he connects himself with the instruction of his spiritual master and the divine energy of God. in harmony. And it's about loving devotional service. Yun yung dapat natin maintindihan maigi. Okay? So lahat ng ginagawa nyo, either any work, when there's problem, it means you're not in harmony with the divine energy of God. Okay? Ito yung activities na magpapalayo sa inyo. Sa atin. Once devotional service is spoiled, mapapanis, masisira, okay? Eating more necessary or collecting more funds than required. So, you eat unnecessarily. Okay? Kasi prasyadam, kain ka lang ng tama. Moderately, okay? Collecting more funds than unnecessarily. Hindi mo naman kailangan maraming bagay kasi isa lang may katawan mo. Diba? So, the more na mag-collect ka unnecessarily, kailangan magtrabaho ka. Makukuha yung time mo. Makukuha yung time mo. At yung time mo rito sa mundo na to, our time is very limited in this body. Okay? So, madadivert ka, madifocus ka. Instead, ma-focus ka into doing and serving your Gurudev. What will happen? You will be taking shelter of taking shelter. If I don't have this, I don't have this. Kaya individuals, they come to the point na before I become really serious and offer my life to Krishna, even though those who are initiated, okay, I have to work so hard, have money in the bank. So after working so hard, magtrabaho ko, marami na akong pondo sa bangko, then I can start chanting, you know. I can start serving my spiritual master. But you ask this question, whoever stopped trying to struggle so hard to get money? You think you're gonna catch money? Money will catch you. Because material desire becomes so strong. Okay? You become so insecure. And if you have 1,000 peso now, you will be wanting 10,000 pesos. If you have 1,000,000 pesos, you'll be thinking, real shelter is 10 million pesos. Then you struggle and struggle and struggle. And then time comes, you have to leave everything behind. And what happened? Your focus and your mind is directed and you're attached to money. And what is money all about? Economic development and enjoyment. Material security. So we are misdirected from taking security from the instruction of Krishna. And what is that instruction? Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me and I'll protect you. So what happened? You try to protect yourself. Okay? But can you really protect yourself? And when you are in such consciousness, what will happen, sa atin, yung mind natin is very disturbed. Yung focus natin, we become defocused. We follow the desire in the mind. We have this material consideration. And it becomes now material life first before spiritual life. So, we work so hard, we waste our time. It's a great loss. Okay? Intindihan nyo? Intindihan nyo? Okay? You want to become the number one guitar player. You ask, where is the number one guitar player? Okay? You want to become the richest man. Like for example, in the Philippines, where are those people now? The most powerful person who can control, who became the president, where are they now? They're in the hospital. And those who aspire to control, their body is already horizontal because their body is very sick now under the influence of misery because the body will be in disease condition and then you will leave the body. And for your time, you wasted so much. Okay. So we must open our eyes. Open our eyes. That when we are attracted to all of these things, then it means our relationship with God is not really close. Our relationship with our spiritual master is not really close. Because we are still banking upon our own power, following the desire, and we're thinking, we're imagining, and have a formula that is different from the will of God. May formula ka ba? Because of your conditioning. Okay? Ganun ka makipag-relate, lahat tayo. May formula tayo. Magcha-chant na lang ako, I'll serve my spiritual master. Pag nakuha ko na lahat yung gusto ko, okay? Na-set up ko na lahat. Pero magtanong ka, lahat na nagcha-chant, na-set up na ba nila? O mas hindi nagcha-chant. Na-set up na ba nila lahat yung gusto nila? Okay? So they're all poor men. Who is the richest man? Those who have taken complete shelter of the Supreme Person. Okay? Ha?
Di ba may rich man din yung sa Bible?
Oh, saka na yun. Pinag-usapan natin kasi kayo eh. Oh. Kayo ba? Tayo. Okay? Over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Okay? Halimbawa, sundalo ka. Una, private ka lang. May seminar para maging tinyente ka, maging kapitan ka, maging major ka. Okay? You work so hard to go up the ladder. Alam niyo yung ladder? Hagdanan. Hindi ba? Pinakamababa, pataas ang pataas ang pataas. Pero ang problem, you over-endeavor so much. You use your body. Now, if your work is, you're always in harm's way. Alam mo yung harm's way? You're out there fighting all those who are against the government. Okay? It's all relative. You're fighting there and you put yourself in harm's way. Okay? Your work is looking for death. Maghanap ka ng kamatayan. Kasi nasa gubat ka, hinahanap mo yung mga taong papatay sa'yo. At definitely, yung hinahanap mo, hindi naman yung sasabihin, barilin mo ako. Di ba? Unahan ka nun. Kaya lagi kang anxious. Kung halimbawa, na-waste yung human form mo, what have you achieved? Di ba? Gusto mo ma-achieve na maging general ka. Saan yung mga general lahat? Wala na, di ba? Wala na. Nasaan si Alexander the Great? Alexander the Great na lang ang pangalan, pero nasaan na yung mga general? Hipus na. Okay? What did you achieve? Okay? What does a man profit if he gains the whole world and loses his life, his soul? Yung ikaw ba? You waste this human form of life to be able to enter, to make your life divine, that the kingdom you have will be divine by purifying your heart, your mind. So you're in this body, you're using this body, everything in the service of God. The 9 process of devotional service. Okay? So your life becomes divine because you're in a divine kingdom and becomes the temple of God. Okay? Residence evil means the body that you have is not the temple of God. It's the temple of, the altar of sense enjoyment. Because that is your search for happiness. And anong connection nun? Suffering. Because the body is the source of suffering. This world is the source of suffering. And definitely, you will not, achieve success. You'll achieve success to suffer. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear? Huh? Okay, malapit na. Okay? Never mind. Practicing scripture rules and regulation only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Pinapractice mo lang yan kasi nasa association ka ng mga nagcha-chant. Cha-chant ka lang, Hare Krishna, bow down, bow down, bow down. Kasi, okay, you don't need to work. Okay? Parang cool lang, okay? Chill, okay? Okay, iba naman, they don't follow the rules and regulation. Nagcha-chant sila dyan, pero nagtatago, nagsisigarilyo, umiinom, okay? At hindi lang yun, akala nila yun na yun, okay? Yung ritual. The ritual becomes the ritual will benefit you if it's based upon devotional service. Okay? Meaning, an offering of love. Activities in devotion, okay? Ito yung hindi maganda. Associating with worldly-minded person who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Kasama mo yung mga tao na resident evil lahat. Kagaya nangyari sa inyo, condition ninyo dati, nandito kayo, di ba? Because of the influence of the mode of passion, we know we're angry person. Alam mo yung angry person? An angry person, hindi lang yung galit na siga ang mata. An angry person is someone who follows the dictates of his senses. Because he's so angry, he needs a release. Either magyawa-yawa ang baba, okay? Kaya yung kali si Maya, you now dance. With your activities, the dance is the dance of death. Because you experience all the pain in this world. So the residence you have, and you're in this resident is not really pure, divine. That's why you're suffering. Okay? Intindihan niya? Is it clear sa inyo? Kaya kayo lang mismo ang gagawa ng mga bagay-bagay na magpapahirap sa inyo. Ibig sabihin nun, you're given this opportunity to have this word. May itak kayo, pero yung itak mismo nyo, yung tumutusok sa inyo. Nakakasugat sa inyo. Intindihan niya? Okay? Being greedy for mundane achievements. Ano yung mundane achievement? Gusto mong, ano yung achievement? Yung makakamit mo. Okay? Ako ang magiging number one devotee na pure. Okay? Kagayahin ko paano magsalita ang spiritual master. Okay? Paano siya magsalita, magdadamit ako pareho sa kanya. Okay? As if may kaligayahan doon. Para makaupo ako sa upuan, yung biyasasan niyan. Okay? Magkaroon na maraming followers. Mga taong badlungon. Na badlungon na ako. May kaligayahan ba doon? Wala. Mundane achievements. Kasi inisip mo, I'm so advanced. Marami akong followers, you know. I will guide them to Krishna. Okay? Then you're in the wrong direction. Because you're not all-powerful. And you're not the Paramatma. You're not Krishna. So, what then is a spiritual master? What is a devotee? It is someone who follows the instruction of Lord Krishna. And the secret is so open, it's an open secret, that there's only two processes that will help us be very close in our relationship with Lord Krishna. Number one, humbleness and the chanting of the holy names. And if we follow the instruction of our spiritual master, we have this faith, then that becomes our life, meaning what we do with our body, with our senses and everything, focus upon serving God. That consciousness, that divine consciousness. And then we are protected. Okay? Yun lang sundin nyo, the instruction. When Krishna tells us, find a bona fide spiritual master. Okay? So we have a bona fide spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. And he tells us, chant the holy names. Okay? And the more you chant, the more you feel this belongingness to Krishna. Okay? You embrace him. Okay? Are we in that state? My life belongs to you, you know. Although I know I am sinful, I'm not qualified, I'm a demon, but I know there's only one person who loves me unconditionally, my Gurudev, Krishna, okay? And I want to enter that world. So what will happen is your body, the residence you're in now, becomes divine when you follow the instruction of the spiritual master. It becomes the kingdom of God. So yun yung science. And it is sustainable. That is the reason we must have wisdom. Satchit Ananda. After understanding your true transcendental nature as spirit soul, then with the wisdom and living the life of a devotee, you experience happiness. And that is sustainable, and that will sustain you in your life because the living entity is active by nature. Okay? So now the question is, will your life be the world of an experience of ananda or joy? Yes, if our residence is divine by following the process that is being given to us. Okay? But if not, then you suffer. Because you will be attached to this world. And the kingdom that you're living in becomes the residence of evil because you will be following material nature. Because you try to manipulate matter and you're in this consciousness of Lord. Okay? This arrogance. Look at me, I'm the most pure. I'm the most intelligent, You're always anxious. So that's what we must see. We have this body, this residence, and the resident is you, me, in this body. This body must become the temple of God. And the process is following the instruction of Lord Krishna. Abandon all varieties of religion. What is your religion if it's resident evil? Materialism. Yeah? Materialism. All material enjoyment, material achievement. Why not follow the instruction of Lord Krishna? And Lord Krishna tells us, to those who are constantly devoted unto me, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. Okay? If you live the life wherein you follow His confidential loving servant, then Krishna protects you. Yun. Who can protect you? Krishna. So we make Lord Krishna the driver of our life by putting ourselves in this divine world of devotional service through the instruction of the spiritual master. And only the bona fide spiritual master can help us understand, live that life. Because he has this pure unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Person. Someone who is a pure lover of God can teach us how to love God. Nobody else. Is it clear? So now you must make this choice, the right choice. Haribol Namaste.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Nande Gora Karuna Sarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Nande Gora Karuna Sarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya 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 Bhakti Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda Haribol Bhakti Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Gopala Govinda Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. 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 Namo Siddhaswarupananda. Paramahamsa Namaste. Ora Karuna Swarupaya. Radha Krishna Prestaya.